Give you a quick update on my sister. She's doing a little bit better. She's not doing awesome, but she is doing a little bit better. She's home now. Just got to keep a check on everything. They wound up taking some of her foot, so we're going to see how it goes from here. But guys, could this be the last year of some normalcy, right? We don't live in a normal world anymore that we're used to, but there is some normalcy out here. Now, what could happen, right? We got the election coming up. We could have riots. We could have total civil unrest. We could have the economy crashing. We could have all types of things to happen. And the closer we get to this election, it's more and more likely something like that is going to happen. At what stage or how big of an event will it be? I don't know. But all of us can sense that we can feel something as big's coming. When it comes to prepping, I've told you, you're out of time to be prepping if you want to prep affordably, where things are, cheap. That's just not here anymore. The cheap stuff's gone. Everything's expensive. It's going to cost you more money. You're kind of running out of time to get prepped up for much anything, honestly. Now, we don't push products here. When I say products, we don't push food buckets. We don't push things like that. I don't guess the chicken likes me standing here, but you do need to get prepped up on some food. Now, I'm not telling you to go out here and spend hundreds of dollars on freeze-dried food, thousands of dollars on freeze dryers. Now, if that's the way you want to do it how you want to, right? You can go out here and start buying a couple extra cans of beans or soup or something like that a week. A lot of people think, hey, I've got 14 boxes of ramen noodles put up. I'm good to go if anything happens. Take it from me and from experience. I did a test this last fall at deer camp. A lot of you know I was at deer camp for a pretty long while last year. I decided to try 2 weeks of just eating ramen, right? Lost a lot of weight. Didn't have much energy. It's just empty calories, but it is food in your stomach. I'm not telling you not to eat the stuff, but as far as if that's your long-term survival goal of eating ramen noodles every day, you better start practicing right now working at calorie deficient. Most of them is what, 390 calories if you eat the whole pack, right? Well, just to get 1,200 calories, you're going to have to eat 3.5 packs, right? So, I get it. It's easy to prep. It's in a bag. You just boil some water and cook it, right? But it's not going to keep you sustained enough if you're out here physically having to do stuff. That's something a lot of people don't understand. You can get by sitting in your house, like normal times right now, right? You may be like, well, I'm just going to eat a couple handful of this or that during the day. Well, you're not doing nothing, so you can, you're not really that hungry, right? You eat a little small salad or you eat a pack of ramens and you feel fine. But during a full-blown shtf event where everything is going on left and right, and you're out here having, to pull security on your property, right? Or you're having to get out and you deal with your livestock or just patrol or pick your garden, right? That's not going to be enough calories for you to be able to sustain, one, your weight, two, to sustain your energy level. Now, I'm not a dietitian or anything like that, but I can tell you from personal experience, if you can operate at a calorie deficient level, where your body's not used to, you're used to getting 2,500 calories a day. Well, you switch it and you cut that in half, and it'll take you a while. Trust me, it'll take you a while. You'll feel tired, you'll feel sluggish, but you can start operating a little better if you start training that way, right? It's no different than training with your packs on. There's going to be a lot of people that carry their bug out packs, right? And they think they got 100 pounds of stuff in their bug out bag. Well, they go and walk with it maybe up and down their driveway. That's their practice, right? Maybe a quarter mile a day. If you're actually having to be out in these woods, right, and moving through terrain, you better start practicing with these bug out bags. Anywhere over 50 pounds, it's going to be strenuous on your legs, on your back, on your shoulders, and everything. You need to train. Start training now. I'm not telling you to train every day, but you need to start getting used to carrying this weight. I have met people that has a simple day hunting pack, right? A deer hunting pack, maybe 25 pounds in it. Well, they can walk up and down the yard here fine, right? No big deal. But you get out and you start going up and down hills, they have trouble with that pack because they're not used to that amount of weight. Number one, you start putting stress on your ankles, your knees, and all that from weight on your back and walking through terrain. So you need to start practicing that. You need to start figuring out, can you operate calorie deficient? Can you carry a lot of weight if your plan is to bug out? Number three, what are you going to put into your bug out bag, right? What are you going to put into it? You don't need me to tell you what to put into it. Most of you know what you need. But it's things that you need to start preparing for now. Even if nothing happens, guess what it's going to happen if you're out here training 2 to 3 days a week with a pack on, you're learning to operate kind of calorie deficient, guess what's going to happen? Number one, you're going to lose some weight. Number two, you're going to get in a little bit better shape, right? I mean, I know people that are nurses, or they're constantly on their feet, right? They're running up and down the hall, and they're telling you, my watch told me I walked 2 miles today. You're like, well, that's great, you know? And then you get them out in the woods, maybe hiking or going up and down a hill, they're huffing and puffing, right? There's a big difference between walking 2 miles a day on flat ground or, you know, level yard than it is walking a half a mile in the woods. Most of y'all know this, right? I'm preaching to the choir. But guys, we've got to start getting prepped up. Things are not going to get better. They're going to continue to get worse. I know so many people are holding on to the hope that Donald Trump is the second coming of Jesus, and they think he's going to come in here and, you know, just fix everything. Guys, we're in for a rocky road. No matter who wins this election, it's not going to switch overnight. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not. I mean, you look around in my area right now and you see the prices of stuff, and I know most of y'all live in a bigger area. I couldn't afford to live in your area. Couldn't. You know, around here, honestly, if you had $50, you could eat for the week. You know, it might not be gourmet meals, but you could eat for a week if you had $50. The problem is what cost you $50 now used to be about $12, right? So everything's costing more. We've got to get prepared. You've got to put back as much food as you can. The number one prep, which is the hardest prep to store regardless of what any other channel tells you, is water. Water is the hardest prep to store. It takes up so much space. You know me, I don't sell them, but the Sawyer mini filter is what I use. That's what I use. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't give me nothing. That's just the one I prefer to use. A lot of people like the Life Straw. Of course, everybody loves the big Berkeys and things like that. But as far as storing water, it takes up so much space, so much. One person, you know, they say a gallon a day. Well, that's not taking into consideration washing or anything like that. My rule of thumb is 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons per person per day in a full-blown shtf event. Now, one person, let's say 2 gallons, that's what, over 700 gallons in a year. That's a lot of water. It's a lot of water. You know, the blue 55-gallon drums, you're looking at what, 14 of them, 15 of them, roughly? That's a lot of space, a lot of space. Some people say, well, I got a well, I've got a spring, I've got a pond, I've got a river. That's awesome, but you got to have a way to purify that. And Lord forbid it's some kind of nuclear incident, you know, groundwater can get contaminated. So water is the hardest prep. The hardest prep. It's also one of the number one things you cannot go without. Myself, I drink over 1 gallon of water a day, just a normal day. I do. A gallon of water or more a day is my normal daily water consumption. But it used to be beer. So I just kind of switched beer to water, right? It's supposed to be healthier, but the funny part about that is, since I quit drinking beer all the time and switched over to a more healthy lifestyle, I stay sick all the time. Go figure on that one, right? But guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts. Are you prepared to the best that you can be right now, or do you still have gaps you need to fill in? Let me know. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person can do it. Stay safe. Keep prepping. My sister, as of now, she's home, but she's having a little bit of a rough go with it, you know. So if you like, thank you everybody that said a prayer. Everybody's got it in your thoughts. Thank you. We all thank you, and we're going to go from there. But as far as prepping, we're running out of time here. We're running out of time. Stay safe.